Well, let's queer up education. Culture war comes to Fort Lauderdale as high school removes LGBTQ plus book described by Moms for Liberty and DeSantis as pornographic. Broward school libraries will remove a sexually explicit teen graphic novel that Governor Ron DeSantis' administration categorized as pornography. The book, Let's Talk About It, The Teen's Guide to Sex, Relationships, and Being a Human, was in the libraries of 3 schools: Fort Lauderdale High, Coral Glades High in Coral Springs, and Nova High in Davie. It has now been removed. Broward School District spokesperson John Sullivan said, quote, "Once we received a complaint, we initiated our review process of the material. During the review, the book will be removed from our schools," end quote. The complaint came from the Broward chapter of the socially conservative group Moms for Liberty and its affiliate Moms for Libraries. Brian Griffin, DeSantis' press secretary, tweeted Wednesday evening in response to the Broward School District removals of the book. He said, in quote, "Good, it's pornography," end quote. As per the officials, the books the governor's staff said were in Orange and Seminole County public schools have already been removed. A review in School Library Journal, which describes itself as the premier publication for librarians and information specialists who work with children and teens, has praised the book. Okay, so my question was before this, don't they still have sex ed? And from what I recall in sex ed in high school, they were showing us explicit graphic illustration of sexually transmitted diseases, of what you genitals, pregnancy.
We had to watch a woman give birth.
Yeah,
and that made me never want to have sex again. I was like, oh my God. No, not like right there in the classroom, Dale.
I'm sure that was the tactic to get you to not try and get pregnant. You know.
But from what we saw in the book, it was just illustrations, and also the book is called Being a Better Human. Like, it helps you be a better human, helps you figure out how to be a human, especially in teens, instead of actually looking at actual pornography.
We're talking about high school students. We're not talking about even middle school students.
No, we're talking about high school students that, guess what, are having sex, Dale. They're having sex.
Hello.
And the last 2 lines that Jamal read, librarians and information specialists call it a premier publication for teens, basically saying that this is a great tool for kids, and you're taking these out. But no, we should still be teaching kids about how Christopher Columbus, was not a rapist and a pillager, and then killed thousands of people. Yeah, no, we have to keep on teaching them that, though.
So how would we expect them to learn about sex? Do we still expect them to go to pornhub.com?
No. You learn it the old-fashioned way. Your point, I just put an exclamation point on, because you make the connection here that the book is embraced by the premier educational, the science of writing, the science of school books. It's embraced by the premier science in America for this field. The rejection of it, Moms for Liberty is a terrorist group. Yeah. It is not an advocacy group.
Moms for Liberty and Moms for the Libraries is the worst moniker. Yes. Because it is so incorrect.
For sure. That's why they partner with Proud Boys on Las Olas in the Fort Lauderdale event.
They were the same one.
It was the same group, Moms for Liberty, and they're the ones that are attacking the school boards in various different ways. And the issue here is very similar to the scientific issues that took place in COVID. Science rejection, reject science, reject the doctors, reject the mask, reject. And it's the same kind of thing here in terms of the experts saying this is the way to teach your 9, 10, 9th grade to senior. And it's also, I think, important of what's happening. 2 quick notes. One of which is this calls out the lie that we knew it was the lie. When we talked about this 1 year ago, and Don't Say Gay was hitting the ground hard, everyone said, well, it's kindergarten through 3rd grade. And we were saying, this is gaslighting because they're going to use this to get their beachhead, and then they're going to expand it everywhere. Well, that's exactly what they've done. This book has nothing to do with Don't Say Gay.
No.
They're using the law as an extension to be able to do it. The second thing that I think is really, really important is I talked about this over the weekend, in that finally this culture war really comes home. We're not talking about Ocala, Florida, or Pensacola, or Biloxi, Mississippi. We're talking Fort Lauderdale. That high school we have driven by 1,000 times. Why? Because it's on Wilton Drive. What's Wilton Drive? The gayest community in America. That is the staging parking lot for the Stonewall Pride Parade. And
you have to cross a gay bridge, okay? Every time
Rainbow
you go
Bridge.
by
Yeah,
it.
standing on the Rainbow Bridge, you're looking at the main building of the library that this book has now been banned through the assistance of Moms for Liberty. It's creeping in right on top of us.
Banning books, and yet guns are just A-OK.
Yeah. Bring your gun to school. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out television network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.